and you could bookmark it if you wanted to review it later, or if you wanted to just watch along with us in our Zoom chat, that is also absolutely fine. So I'll give you a moment to log into that or link into it. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. So welcome to the Parents as Partners Technology Workshop. We're gonna cover some Schoology tips and tricks. And also, if you want to come back to the presentation and you don't remember the link, just go to bit.ly/weparent2020. Okay. So on the agenda for this parent workshop is a brief introduction. And then we're going to do a really short inclusion activity just so you could experience some of what your students experience in Zoom. And then I'm going to share with you the LAUSD YouTube page that has tons of tutorials that you might need. And then a video that I will share that I've created with some distance learning tips for the year. And then we'll have some reserved time at the end for questions and answers. Okay, so just briefly about me, I am the Instructional Technology Facilitator at West Hollywood Elementary. I'm happy to be back this year for Practitioner Schools 5.0. And I did want to let you know that I am temporarily also supporting another school, San Pasqual STEAM Magnet, until they hire their own ITF. But rest assured, I will 100% be there to answer what questions you have, and I'm happy to support all of you this school year. And just a quick note on this, the practitioner school model, there are only 16 practitioner schools in Los Angeles Unified, which is over 1,000 schools. So West Hollywood is really lucky to be part of this model this year. All right. In the following slide for our inclusion activity, I'm going to ask you to annotate on the screen and show me how you are feeling about the current school year. Okay, we know there's a lot of high stakes feelings. There's a lot going on. You're teaching your students from home. You might be working full time. So I'm gonna ask that you annotate on this screen, pick one of these circles, and along the top where it has a green banner and view more, you're going to click the more and select annotate and draw a face of how you're feeling. So I'm gonna, you have annotation rights, and then go ahead and pick one of these circles and just do a quick check-in. Let us know how you're feeling about distance learning and being partners in teaching your students at home. So just pick one of the circles that no one else is drawing on, and you could draw how you're feeling about the school year. So again, to get to the annotate tool, if you are on a computer, along the top you'll see a green banner that says you are viewing Jamie's screen. And then there's a view more next to it. Just select that and click annotate. And if you can't do it, that's also okay right now. If you wanted to get a piece of paper and draw it, you may also do that. And so you could see we could see who's annotating on it. And this is just a little quick activity that I have done with the teachers so they could do it with students as well, just as a quick social emotional check-in. I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds before I disable annotation.
I really want to say some of the artwork here is pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I'm seeing some sad faces, some medium squiggles.
For me, the favorite is the, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So put your final touches in 3, 2, and 1. And then now I'm going to disable the annotation. Oh, look, and somebody wrote that they're hopeful. So I really like that. And I'm really hopeful and optimistic too, to be honest. This is really a unique moment for us to really harness our skills and work together. So I'm gonna save this image. If you want a copy of it later, I could stick it back in our slides. And then we're going to move on. So let me go ahead and clear the screen. Just a quick little activity so you could see some of the ways that we could engage your students online. Okay, moving on. So there is a LAUSD YouTube page that I was just informed about last night. And if you visit youtube.com/Los Angeles Schools, it will take you to their videos. And ITI does have a special shelf in these videos for where we have some things, but for families at least, you know, there's some basics like what does a parent need to know about Schoology? How do I turn on my Chromebook or my iPad? What is Schoology? And so these videos are hopefully going to answer many of the questions that you've had that you could always go back to and refer back to if you needed additional help. There are also some strategies for teachers, and this is our ITI shelf in the YouTube Los Angeles page. So I will be sharing these newly uploaded videos to the teachers at West Hollywood so they could support our students during distance learning. And there's also additional videos for teachers and then all of the superintendent updates. So if you wanted to bookmark this page, that would be a good one to have because we all love YouTube. It's easy to just watch a video, pause it, and then follow those directions again. So I'm gonna pause there and see if there are any questions in the chat before we move on. All right, no questions yet. So that is definitely a resource for you. Can I get like a thumbs up? Do you think you might visit this page just to see if it's even usable and useful for you all? All right, wonderful. Okay, and then now I did create a tutorial that is pretty comprehensive, taking into consideration a lot of the questions that I've been seeing on our tech support form. So this is my personal video for you all for distance learning tips, and it covers how to reset students' emails and password, logging into Schoology, tips for accessing Schoology on an iPad. I know that experience is different for students, so I do have some tips in there for you. Tips for accessing Schoology on a shared device if you are just sharing your own family computer, just some tips there for you, and then also some Schoology navigation tips. It is a 14-minute long video, and I put the timestamp for these specific parts of it, but I'm wanting to know from you if you want to just watch all of it now together, or if you wanted to watch this on your own time. So I guess you could show me on your fingers, I guess one, let's watch it all together, or two, I could watch it on my own time. So I'm seeing some people on their own time, some people now. Okay. I'm seeing a combination. So you know what, we're gonna watch it now. If you don't really wanna watch it, maybe take a break, put some clothes from the washer in the dryer, whatever you gotta do. But know it's here for later, but I am going to present it now since many of you have carved out time to be here to get all the info that you can. So let's play this, because after this, it's just Q&A. Hello, I am going to show you how to reset your students' email and password so they can access their Chromebooks, log into Schoology, and also sign into their iPads. So first you want to go to mylogin.lausd.net. Then you're going to select student, activate your account or reset your password. This is the LAUSD acceptable use policy. Please take a moment to learn about responsible use, and that is geared towards student responsibility. There's some employee responsibilities there, and the responsibilities by the parent. Once you've read that document, select I agree and accept. You're gonna put in your student's district ID number, which can be provided by the office. And then you're gonna put in a birth date. Make sure you put in the full birthday year. And then you're gonna enter the student PIN number and select next. Once you are in, you will be asked to activate their account and reset the password. Please provide all of the following required fields for your password, and it would be highly suggested to write that down so that it's not forgotten. And then you click submit to reset. Hello, I am going to show you how to log in to Schoology with your student's email and password that have been reset. So first you go to lms.lausd.net. Students will click on Students. Please note if you're a K through 2 student, you could also use your QR code and scan it that way. But all students could also enter in this way. You type in your email address. You enter the password that you created. And now you're in Schoology. Just a quick tip, it might show up on your recent activity when you first enter. You'll want to click on courses, and then you could find your student's course and teacher. And then you'll see any materials that your teacher has posted in this space here. And this bell will show you if there are any notifications that need to be read or messages. Now you are ready to use Schoology for all of your school assignments. Please note that there are some other apps along the side here that your student's teacher might be using with the students, so you want to look there as well if you need to access any of those portals. Thank you. Hi, now I'm going to give you some tips on accessing Schoology on an iPad. So you can log in through the Schoology app. If you wanted to do it that way, you're going to click on Los Angeles Unified School District. And then you are going to enter this way with your student login, email, and password. And now you are in your Schoology account. You click on your teacher's classroom and you'll be able to access the materials this way. However, you are missing the cute little Bitmoji classroom that's on the top. So a workaround would actually be to access Schoology through the web. So I would recommend clicking on Safari, going to lms.lausd.net, logging in this way as a student or with their QR code. Since we are viewing it on the web, if your teacher happens to have a Bitmoji classroom, now I would be able to see this on an iPad rather than just the folders that are below. Okay. And then a nice little tip for students would be to click on this button on the top. And what you're going to do is add this page to your home screen. And then you click add. And now you'll see right here that the app is on your home screen, so it's easy for your student to just click in and get straight to their course without having to go through the Schoology app, which means that they wouldn't be able to see this Bitmoji classroom. Okay, hopefully that tip was very helpful in terms of accessing Schoology on an iPad so that you could see the images. Hi, I wanted to provide some tips for using a shared computer at home for your student to access their school work. So I would highly recommend on your computer using the Chrome browser. And if it is a shared device, then many people might have logged in on your computer and it keeps requiring your student to sign in for their various homework or classwork assignments. So to make this easier for you, if you're using Chrome, the top right corner will have your initial or a picture, and that is the account that's attached to this Chrome browser. And so if you click on add, you could create a profile that your student will use. So you could call it school, you choose an icon that you like, and you select add. It'll open a new window, and then you're going to click sign in and use your student's sign in information. Their school email is also a Google account. Once you're in, it's going to require you to link your Chrome data to this account, so select link data. And then it's going to ask if you want to turn on sync, and you say yes, I'm in. And once that happens, your student's profile is now set up, and any bookmarks that they have will be along this top, such as right here. They have some bookmarks that maybe their teacher already added, or if you go to your LMS,
Dun, dun, dun.
Miss Galgana, are you there?
yes, I'm here.
Did you pause it or did the screen freeze?
My goodness, I'm so sorry. Just a second. Now I want to show you a couple of tips for Schoology. We're Just 1 second, I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. Technology's great when it works.
In a couple different teachers' courses, you'll just see what has been happening lately, but you might want your course dashboard to be your main landing page. Now, I'm a member of all these courses, so I see many courses, but this is the view that would make it easy for students to
I know, Paranaz, I'm texting her. We're trying to get it figured out.
1 second, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Take a breath.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Let me continue where we had just left off. There were some issues there. I was getting the link for the direct video. I'll share that afterwards, so I'm not multitasking here. Here we go, and I think we left off here. Now I want to show you a couple of tips for Schoology. We are currently logged into my Schoology as an employee, but students' interface looks exactly the same. And so tip number one is to change your home page to the course dashboard. So some of the students by default have their dashboard always going to the recent activity, and if they're in a couple different teachers' courses, you'll just see what has been happening lately. But you might want your course dashboard to be your main landing page. Now, I'm a member of all these courses, so I see many courses, but this is the view that would make it easy for students to click into their course as soon as they log into Schoology. So to set the course dashboard as your home page, you're going to click on your name in the top right corner, go to settings, and then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you could set your home page from recent activity to course dashboard. Now, every time I log in, it'll be easy for me to see all of my courses. They're just right here, and then I could go into my classroom. Tip number two is to scroll down and use the breadcrumbs. So let me go back to my courses and find a student course. Okay, some teachers have been using a Bitmoji classroom right here on the top. That makes it really easy for their students to just click and start their assignments. But some parents were wondering where these assignments actually are. So Ms. Smelzer has actually linked this digital citizenship lesson. So if students click in there, it takes them to the assignment for days 1 through 3. But I'm going to go back
and show you where that actually is in her course, you could also scroll down. So she has that part linked to her lesson probably for days 1 through 3 folder. But she's making it easier for her students by just having them click here. But you also have the option to scroll down and look at the assignments that students must complete. Something to notice about when you scroll down is that there will be assignments there, and some of them have this must complete check mark, and then you'll know that that has assignments that need to be completed possibly in a certain order. So when they go in, they might see their different assignments, and then they'd have to complete these in order. Some of them have a discussion at the end, and you can't get to it because it's grayed out because you have to go through everything first. Okay. Some assignments that don't require must-dos will just not have this must complete underneath it. Okay. Another tip would be to always return to your home screen by clicking this Los Angeles Unified. So your students might end up getting lost inside of a lesson and like reading the directions, doing the assignment, and then want to quickly just get back to their home page. You could do that by clicking this top left corner, and it takes you to your course dashboard, and then you could go right back into your class. Something else that you might want to notice is that when students go into a folder and possibly, you know, go into a folder of another folder and just keep getting deep into folders, they could use this area on the top. They're called breadcrumbs, where you could take your step backwards to the page that you were before, so it doesn't keep opening up a new tab. So that was tip number 2, just using the scroll down tool to see the assignments below, and then also utilizing these breadcrumbs so that you could go backwards to the pages that you were just in prior to the new page. Okay, and tip number 3 is to use the Help Center button. So this button on the bottom right corner, this S, is actually the Schoology Help Center guide. And you could search for any topic that you think that you might need help with. So if I wanted to know more about grades, Schoology, you know, I could learn about like how I use graded discussions, or why maybe students see a different overall grade than a teacher would. This is some of it's for teachers, but for students, it'll have different student topics.
Hello.
So students will be able to see anything that they're interested in looking at, or learn more about some of the other features. So see, there's even a homepage for parents, navigation for students, and homepage for students. So if I click on this, and so I can learn about my dashboard, attendance, the App Center, and all of this information here. So this would be your one-stop shop for any help that you might need.
Okay, so hopefully those videos were a little helpful to you, and same with the YouTube